All right. Listen up, you bunch of chuckle fucks. I'm here with a warrant for a predator. A predator? Do we have a predator in the area? Predator, you're coming in to the slammer. You're predator? What? Predator. Oh, predator. Oh. You know what? I'm gonna let you off with a warning. Hello everyone, Boomin87 back here again, and welcome to Predator 2 review, coming out in 1990, directed by Stephen Hopkins, and written by Jim and John Thomas, the same people who did Predator 1, and yeah, Predator 2. Predator 2 is always the movie that I always had in the back of my mind. I heard a lot about it. It took me years. I watched it years after I saw the original Predator for the first time, but I would always hear about it in like Predator rankings. And it would always sound like my kind of movie. I really like the cop drama. I like cop dramas, weirdly. I like dramas that come off as boring. I'm a horror fan, but I'm also like business dramas and like economic dramas and like management dramas. Like, I mean, Too Big to Fail is one of my favorite films. And that's about bankers yapping for 2 hours. Predator 2, I always heard about it, and it always sounded like a movie I like. Everyone would give like positive kind of criticism of it and still say it wasn't very good. And I was always kind of skeptical about it. It always sounded like a movie that I would like. And I went in and watched it. And I think it's going to be the exact same thing as everyone else does. I'm going to tell you a lot of positives about the movie. That don't necessarily mean I really like the movie. But why don't we get into the positives, some of the stuff I'm mixed about, and the negatives of Predator 2. First off, let's get to the positives. And I like that right off the bat, the Thomas brothers made sure that this was not going to be a rehash. We are not going to be going back into the woods, the jungle, and we're not going to be stalked by the Predator through the jungle with a bunch of like secret agents or stuff. No, we are cops in a city. We are in LA. We're in Los Angeles, the concrete jungle, if you will. And we are going, and the Predator has decided to come, the city hunter has decided to come to LA. I really enjoy the fact that it's not a rehash at all. I really enjoy the fact that there is no implication. Nothing here is a rehash because nothing here is everything here is urban. Where compared to the first Predator, you know, it's a jungle. But having the entire thing be urban, whether or not you like the movie or not, you cannot deny the respect you cannot deny respect to the people for really putting their foot down and saying, no, we're not doing a rehash. We're doing something completely different with the character or the creature. No, not completely different. He's still there to hunt, but, you know, completely different. Send him to the city and just see what happens. Again, I'm just going to mention this in every Predator movie. I think the Predator's cool as fuck. The Yautja is just cool as shit. I think I actually might prefer the design of the City Hunter versus 1987 Predator. I would say is about equal to me. I think they both have their flaws and their pros. I think this one, I like the mask of the original a bit more than this one. I find this one's a bit smooth. Like, literally, the mask is, like, smooth. But I think a lot of his shit in this movie is cool. You get a lot of weapons, new shit. You got a lot of new gadgets you get from him. I struggle to remember which ones exactly. I think this one introduced the net and the combi stick, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong, though. It might have introduced the saucer thing, but I also could be wrong about that. You know, I haven't seen it in about a month. I'm sorry. No, but Predator 2... The City Hunter is one of the more iconic Predators in the franchise, which is funny because Predator 2 is not very well loved, but the City Hunter is well loved. And getting into the beginning of the movie, I find to be amongst the strongest of the movie. The actual like intro prelude kind of thing, not prelude, but like the big gang shootout at the beginning, which I would say is like pre-Act 1, maybe. I don't know. It depends on movies being delved into like preludes and Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, and then epilogues is really subjective. But the gang shootout that literally starts the movie, I think, is among the strongest. It's one of the strongest sections of the film itself. And I think it keeps that rough edge of gang violence while keeping it in a way where it's not just cops versus bad guys, you know. I mean, it is, because the Predator's not a good guy, but, you know, it's not just a gang versus a cop storyline throughout the movie, but the tone of the really just, like, rigid, edgy, kind of, like, nasty, like, life here fucking sucks if you're not one of the gang members. I think it keeps that tone pretty well. And, it's LA, so it's an absolute shithole, the whole movie. And it's blisteringly hot. So just, like, more... Because the Predator likes hotbeds, right? The Predator doesn't really like it cold normally. I mean, we have, like, Viking Predators, I guess. But, like, most of the time they like things hot. So LA being in a blistering heat wave really cements it as, like, yeah, it's Predator territory, basically. But the gang shoot at the beginning, I think, is one of the best scenes of the film. And, yeah. I also think the best part of the film, by far, is right when Danny Glover's character gets to the slaughterhouse. When Danny Glover's character drives to the slaughterhouse and then is surrounded, from that point on, I think the movie really ramps up and is amongst some of my favorite in the franchise, actually. I would say the slaughterhouse segment of Predator 2 is one of my favorite Predator scenes and, like, sequences in any movie, Predator movie. Now, granted, I've only seen the first 4 up to now. I saw The Predator last night. But, like, no, so the slaughterhouse, I think, is exceptional. I think the slaughterhouse is exceptional. An exceptional segment. And, yeah, I think that even though the movie itself isn't extremely great, I think that it definitely works in I think it works. I think the slaughterhouse section works. Yeah. And, you know, all the characters that are there to kill the Predator. And that kind of leads into our next thing. You got Special Agent Peter Keyes here with his task force that just comes off as an initial, like, oh, we're here to take over these murder investigations of all these gang members, when in reality they are literally here to get the Predator. And that kind of starts something that the franchise has a love-hate relationship with, because in The Predator, they also have that group that's just there to, you know, kill and get Predator shit. And that movie's not very good. But I think this movie uses it in a way where he's an annoying character, but he's not, like, just an asshole. Like, I always have a little bit of sympathy for these characters that are willing to do whatever it takes to get the Predator. Because if we can figure out how to stop them, that's a good thing, right? So I always have a bit of sympathy for him, and he's able to be a character in a way where I don't absolutely fucking despise him, but I think he's kind of like, I don't like him. Like, the character itself, I don't like him, but I respect the character for what he's trying to do. And I think once he just starts introducing Danny Glover to the plan, I think he does come out as a pretty cool, like, I do like his character. I like the character of Special Agent Peter Keyes. I mean, the gore works, right? You just kind of have the same stuff as the first Predator with the, you know, the skinning and the stuff. But it still works. Like, you're not going to be disappointed by a lot of the gore here. Much. Like, it works. It works. The stuff in here, the gore works for what it wants to do. And, yeah. Getting into spoiler territory here, I really do enjoy the actual ending of the film. Where, you know, Danny Glover's character he kills the Predator, and then all the Predators come up, like, they come up from being invisible, and the lead Predator tosses him a trophy, like a special, like he tosses him a special trophy from like the 1700s as a reward for his, like his warriorship, and then they all leave. Like they just take the body, blow up the ship, and leave. But it's the honor system, right? And Danny Glover's character kills a predator, and they respect that. They respect that he kills the predator, so they reward him for his warriorship, and they dip. They get rid of all the evidence he was there, and they dip. And I think the predator honor system being shown, where the predators are actually nice to people. Not like I want the predators and people to sing Kumbaya, but like after a battle, the predator actually shows respect towards the humans. That's amongst my favorite segments of the franchise when that happens. And they really kind of just don't do anything with that after this, as far as I know. I mean, I haven't seen Prey or Killer of Killers, and obviously I haven't seen Badlands, but like, I think Prey has some of that stuff from what I've heard. I'm very excited to watch Prey. I might watch that. Probably not tonight. Maybe tonight. I don't know. We'll figure it out. No, but that's some of my favorite stuff in the franchise. Moving along to the mixed, and I don't know, the gang being these, like, I'm not one to get all iffy about, like, negative, how do I put this? I'm not one that gets iffy about things that could kind of be seen as like, oh, that's kind of like iffy. That's a little offensive, maybe, to like put these two things together, right? I'm normally like, okay, like whatever. There was another time. The Jamaican gang being led by this voodoo psychic is a little bit strange. Like, Danny Glover wants to go meet with the gang leader to ask him, like, hey, why the fuck is there an alien doing shit? And he comes out of an alleyway and he's like, you will find that, like, and he's like a voodoo psychic. Like, he's covered in like I don't know, maybe that like, I mean, I could be wrong, right? I'm just a white kid in a Albany college. Perhaps some Jamaican guy, perhaps some like Jamaican individual or organization gave approval, and they did this in a way where they paid respects to old Jamaican traditions. I could, like, that could absolutely be true, and if that's the case, then sure, fuck yeah. I mean, it's a little weird that there's like this voodoo guy in a Predator movie, but like, either, like, okay. So, you know, I don't know, that's just my 2 cents on it. I don't really have like the right to give an opinion on it, because, you know, but like, it's just like, he comes around the corner, I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. It genuinely crosses into being like, because I don't think the voodoo depiction in Child's Play is that terrible. I think the voodoo depiction in this movie is a little bit iffy, because Child's Play is always one people are like, oh no, that voodoo is extremely offensive. Have you seen Predator 2? Moving on to, I would say, the negatives now. It is, unfortunately, and I don't like generalizing films to this word, but the second act of the film, after the gang shootout till the final confrontation with the Predator, is just, I would say, from when the gang shootout ends and he goes back to the station till the train crash, this movie is extremely fucking boring. It is boring. Like, it's a cop drama. The thing we're focusing on is the investigations, right? I get that. I do get that. That's the point of a cop drama. Like a cop drama being mixed with a Predator film. But like, holy fucking balls. Let's go to one place, investigate. Let's go to another place, investigate. Let's talk to the gang leader. Run away, the Predator kills him. Let's go to this other place. Uh-oh, let's talk to Special Agent Peter Keyes. Get in a fight. Let's fucking run around with our hand in our ass, and then, oh, there's the Predator. Now let's have some fun. Like, that's how the second act feels of this film. The second act, I think, is generally some of the worst stuff in Predator. Oh, my friend is going to kill me. She absolutely loves Predator 2. I'm sorry. if you are watching this. I don't know. Genuinely do like the first half. Genuinely do like the third act. No, not first half. I genuinely do like the first section. I really like the third act. The last half of the first act and the second act really takes this, like, drops this movie down in star ratings for me. It really just, it's grating. Now, I am interested in watching the movie again at some point in my life. And maybe I will be a much calmer person. And maybe I will be a little less on whatever spectrum I'm a part of. I need to get that checked out. And maybe I can just sit back in like an armchair with some like hot cocoa and vibe to Danny Glover doing cop shit and fighting a predator. But as of right now, it's very boring. Another negative that probably should have been in the mixed category, but whatever. I think Danny Glover's squad here of individuals. Danny Glover's character is named, sorry, I forget. I don't even know. Michael Harrigan, right? Harrigan's squad of cop buddies. Leona and Danny Cantrell and Arculita, respectively. And then they're cool. I enjoy them. I think Detective Jerry Lambert is extremely annoying. And he fits in the cop drama thing where he's like, "Hey, buddy, where are the, you got any, police women here?" You know, and I mean, eventually they, like, fall in love. Not Jerry and Detective and Danny Glover. Jerry and Leona. Which I always like when, like... I always like when these two characters that really just exist for one to annoy another kind of, like, organically come together. I'm not a fan of, like, romance or rom-coms. That's much more my girlfriend's thing. So I'm sure she would watch this and be like, no, what the fuck? But then again, she didn't like The Driller Killer, so, like, I don't know. Maybe I don't respect her movie opinions at all anymore. I'm joking. I don't know. They're just very, like, nothing characters. Like, Leona is just your generic, like, policewoman badass that knows all the martial arts. And Jerry's your generic, like... horny intern or something. I don't know. Danny is kind of chill, I guess, but he dies in like the first 40 minutes. So, I don't know, man. Like, okay. Predator 2. Predator 2 is a very interesting movie that I think does have a lot going for it sometimes, but all in all, it really just does not glue. Does not glue very well. There's not a lot of here that I can enjoy, unfortunately, besides the beginning and the end. The middle section, I just can't really get into, unfortunately. Maybe one day I'll come back to this movie and stuff. Probably when another Predator movie comes out. I don't know if I'll ever, like, redo this review because, like, I don't know. No, probably not. It doesn't matter. But in a far out Predator ranking, maybe it'll come up way high, and I'll explain why I was wrong about this movie. Because I can see this movie turning into one of my favorites of the franchise in a long time. Maybe when, like, the movie after Badlands comes out, and I eventually rewatch this franchise and re-rank it with the new movie, because I like to do that with new movies. But yeah, all in all, Predator 2, a lot going for it, a lot not going for it. I give this movie a 2.25 out of 5. Not my favorite. Really not. If a movie is a 2 or higher, though, I think it's a pretty... If a movie's a 2 or higher, I think it's a good movie, okay? If a movie is a 2.5 or higher, then we're getting into, like, good movies. If you're below a 2, yeah, I don't like it. It's pretty much like, if you're a 2 to 2.5, you're pretty alright. 2, if you're below a 2, yeah, I don't like you at all. So yeah, 2.25 out of 5 stars for Predator 2. What did you think? If you're my friend from college, you're gonna absolutely think I'm underrating the movie a lot, but do any of you other folks think I'm underrating Predator 2? Do you actually hate this movie, despise it, and want to piss on the Blu-ray? Please don't piss on Blu-rays. That's weird. Do you think I'm correct? Do you want to tell me about how your day is going? Anything you want to let me know about, drop below. And we're cruising along the Predator reviews. Bookman87 out.